Hello, everyone. I'm Meredith, and welcome to Conversations with Friends. I'm delighted to introduce you to an engineer, an electrical engineer from Brazil, who completely changed her career to become a porcelain artist. And this artist has received awards all over the world. She's traveled all over the world, very committed to this. I want to say an ancient art form, but we're going to have to hear exactly, because we know it's been around for a long time and what it is and how it's changed. But Marcia Stivelman grew up in Brazil, as I said, moved to South Florida, and discovered porcelain art. And not just discovered it, but has become passionate about it, as I said in a little bit in the intro here, and has gone on to help others also discover porcelain art. So we're going to hear a lot about this and see some magnificent work. Marcia.
Thank
Good to see you.
Thank you, Meredith. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Mita, for all your technical support. And I'm delighted to have to be here. As a matter of fact, I met Meredith in a very funny way. I'm looking for a house, and I stopped by in front of her house, and I asked her if she wants to sell the house. And then we start to have a conversation. What do I do? What does she do? And then, to make the long story short, we are here.
Yes.
And I'm happy to share with you everything that I have been doing.
Everything that you know, right?
Yeah, everything that I have been doing since, since I moved to South Florida, to Miami. Just happy to respond and share.
Well, I'm happy you're here because, like you just said, I really feel that sometimes just people come together in magical ways, people that you never expected to suddenly show up in your life, and you find out and you learn how fascinating they are and how accomplished they are, or maybe that they're just really good people. And I think you're all of that. You really are. And so we've had a nice friendship, a short friendship, but it's been wonderful to get to know you and to see your amazing art. We're going to look at some art right now. And why don't you describe some of your work, your porcelain art, and tell us about it.
I won a few awards with this one in a show in Italy. When you show porcelain, it's a little different from, usually they are not, our work doesn't go to galleries because there's still a little preconception about porcelain painting. And some people don't want to consider porcelain painting as a fine art. They consider more as a craft.
Interesting.
And yes, and we try to fight about that because it is a fine art. So the shows of porcelain are more like close shows, where there is all over the world. But it's very difficult if you are not in the middle of that to be involved with that. And
well, a lot of things often aren't respected or don't get the credit that they deserve. But
yes,
this, you know.
This plate was, it was a passion to do. As I'm Jewish, and this is a Passover plate, and was done all with raised paste and gold, and we work with real gold. So we paint, we do the raised paste. I don't know if you know anything about the process of the porcelain. We have to fire different times in a very high temperature that goes to like a 1500 Fahrenheit. Many times. I have kilns at home that allowed me to do that. And then after the firing, so we put gold and fire again. And then in this particular case, I have like a blue enamel also, so it's another fire. So it's a process that it's not like at once that we do.
Sounds like a project, like a major.
It is.
5 minutes. Oh, look at this.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, this one I was going to a show to show that, And then I don't actually remember what happened, but I end up not going to the show. And the piece is here. I made it, but I end up not showing the show. It was showing many different magazines, and but not in the show itself.
How did we, how did we realize, or I should say you, not me, come to know about porcelain art? Was there a moment? Was there, saw
Yes,
something and you said, this is it for me? This is.
actually, as you said, I think that the things happen for a reason. When I moved from Brazil here in 1991, with my three kids still small. My youngest was 3 years old, and we moved from Brazil because of the situation there with kidnapping and things like that. So, and I am an electrical engineer. I even work a lot there. When I got here, I couldn't work because my diploma was not recognized here. I would have to go back to work, to school. And with three small kids, it was really complicated. So after the kids got adapted to school, learn the language and everything. So I said, I have to start doing something because otherwise I'm gonna go crazy. I cannot stay without doing anything. By coincidence, I met a lady, a Brazilian lady, that told I was mentioning with her that I need to do something. She said, "Why don't you come paint porcelain with me?" I said, "Me paint porcelain? I never done that in my life. You know, I'm very good. I like to do things with my hand. I'm very handy. I like to knit, crochet, embroider." And she said, "Come and try. If you like, you like. If not, you doesn't matter." So I went to her, and I went for the first class, and I got really in love with that. I got like so passionate about that, the concentration and just to be there and paint. So I learned with her the very beginning of porcelain, and how to mix the paints, how to do everything in porcelain that I had never paint. And she couldn't teach me more. She knew, the very basic. And at that time in 1993, we didn't have the internet, the Instagram, the Facebook, nothing like that. So it was very difficult to get involved with porcelain. There was no teachers
Sure.
around here. So
You traveled, right? As I understand it, you traveled. You went to Asia in search of
yes.
porcelain.
So I went. I went to start looking for places where I could go to learn. And I went to many different places. I went to Japan, I went to China, I went to Italy, Switzerland, Germany, back to Brazil. And in each of these places, I found teachers and schools. And I went there and I learned from each different place, a different technique, because each place has like a different way of painting, a different way, different mediums, you know. So, and that's what I have been doing, and I love it. And I teach also. So
Well, it's
it's,
it's obvious that you have the passion for this.
oh
Uh,
yes,
People can have
yes.
passion for something and they would love to do it, but they don't have the talent. And you had the talent. It was within you, right? You
Yeah,
did.
it's a lot of study
It.
also because
Mhm.
it depends a lot of learning and techniques. You have to like what you are doing.
Yeah.
And I believe that if you like what you're doing and if you get into it, you are able to learn, you
And if you
know?
know yourself, do you think too, you have to
Yes.
know yourself and what you do like and what you're good,
Uh-huh.
what you have not necessarily good, but the potential to do something.
Yes.
Because
Yes. That's right. Yes.
I would love to do what you do, but I'm pretty sure I don't have the potential,
Uh,
And I grew up with an artist mother and, I was around art my whole life. And somehow I knew that that wasn't for me, though I did get to produce and host an arts show.
So
Yeah,
yeah, everybody
so
has
maybe,
different
yeah,
talents.
but I could
Yes.
not be an artist. That I knew pretty quickly.
Yeah, but it's different
Yeah.
talents, you know, you do different things. And I could never imagine that I was going to paint porcelain. I mean, my mind is very, you know, into numbers, into, you know, precision, you know, things like that. Oh my God, it's unbelievable that my phone doesn't stop ringing.
It's okay.
Just,
It's okay.
yeah, but I don't think
Just
that it's,
turn it off.
yeah.
They-
No, it's off, but anyway,
Is it
so
becoming more popular now as an art form, and are more people taking to it and saying, I want to learn?
yeah, let me tell you, when I was like a teenager in Brazil,
Yeah.
studying and going to university, I had one particular friend that used to tell me, "No, today I cannot go. I cannot go out because I do have my porcelain painting class." And I said, you know, I didn't understand that, you know. We were like 16, 17
Yeah.
years old, and she was going to porcelain painting. And this is something that you go your whole life, you know, you go and you paint and you are always learning different things. So, and in Brazil, for example, it's very popular, you know, and there's a lot of people, like younger people, that paint on porcelain. I feel like here in the States, it's more like, I think that now, it used to be a lot of people, old people. I mean, old. I mean, yeah,
Older.
we are
Older.
old, right?
Whatever. You don't like
But
that word, yeah.
older, let's put this way, older people painting. But nowadays, and I have been feeling that, you know, lately in my classes, because I have so many new students, and not really old, but that age that you have already the kids in school, you know, and you have like a free afternoon and you don't work, you know. So a lot of these people are coming to learn porcelain.
Look at that. So people
Yes,
are looking, again, what I'm taking from you and what I'm thinking about now is people are looking for other outlets today.
absolutely,
Not enough
absolutely.
just do your
Yes,
work or even have your family. You want some kind of meaning in your life.
yes,
Uh,
because, you know, the time that you are
Not that those
painting,
things don't have meaning, but a different kind of meaning, you know?
yes, I mean, a lot of people say that when they are in my classes, the only time that they can like relax and disconnect from everything, you know, because they are so into, and I am pretty like, I'm very perfectionist. So my students know that when it's not the way I want, I'm going to tell them the truth
Oh,
because, you know, I tell them, no, it's not good. Take it out and do it again. And even though they love it and they really, of course, it's like we also talk about food, about movies, about book, about this and that. So it's a moment of relaxing. It's like a therapy, you know, it's a therapy that we do. And for me also, I mean, when I'm very stressed, I sit on my studio and I start to paint, and I kind of, you know, I forget to eat, I forget to drink, I forget to, sometimes it's like 7:30 at night, and my dog comes and she's, come on, it's time to give me food. And I
wow.
completely forgot, you know, I
Well,
forgot
that's what I call
completely.
passion. You have
Yes,
such passion.
yes, yes,
How
that's right.
fortunate you know, you were to be able to discover it and be good at it as well. A lot of
Yeah, and
people might,
I'm happy that I can, you know, transmit to people also, because I think that, you know, it's nice that we can spread, because it's a very, very ancient art,
so
you
ancient,
know.
isn't it? Can you take
Yes,
us
yeah.
back to when? I mean, can we just go back to China? Is that where it
Oh
started?
yes,
Not
absolutely. It
before.
goes,
I
yes, it goes
started
back
before.
to the Qing dynasty. You
Mm.
know, it's like let's say I even wrote down here what it's like. It's goes to the 1600s BCE.
BC, not 1600s.
No, no, no.
Yeah, right.
Before
It's
the Common
BC.
Era.
BC.
Yes,
Yes, of
BCE.
course.
And for many years, porcelain was like a secret, a really secret from China. And the European people, they used to consider China the white gold
Mm.
until the manufacturer in Germany, in Meissen, when there was still like everything like a clothes in Germany,
Yeah.
they discover, kaolin, which is a mineral that they could make porcelain with that. And then they start to make the porcelain, and then it becomes like a spread all over. And you have different kinds of porcelain. You have bone china, you have a hard porcelain, soft porcelain. But no matter what, we consider porcelain like
Gold.
our gold, no, and our canvas.
Oh, your
It's
cat.
like
I was
my
saying so
canvas.
valuable. What I meant
Yes,
is valuable. It's so valuable to you.
yes. And as I tell you, sometimes I go to a store and I see all the white porcelain. I said, "Oh my God, I have to start painting this. This cannot be white," you know. But it's not only porcelain pieces. There's styles that you can paint and hang on the wall. It's like a regular painting, just another medium and another way to paint.
Is it becoming more accepted today? Because you said it's not quite considered the way maybe other art, like I mean, I feel like I've seen porcelain in museums, but
Yes,
it
yes, yes.
there, but you're saying there's usually not a focus on porcelain.
Yeah, I think that it is. I think that now it's being considered more like a fine art also in many different places, you
Mhm.
know. And I'm very happy with that because it's not only like little decorations, as you can see, it's a lot of work. And we go
Yeah.
many times in the kiln and, redo, retouch.
Where is this done? Everything is done in your house?
Yes, yes. I
Amazing.
mean, I have my kilns and
Yeah.
I do all the firing here. It's firing overnight because I don't know if you know, but we paint with a pigment that it's the pigment for porcelain. It's like a powder.
Hmm.
And we mix this powder with different mediums, okay? Like different
Okay.
kinds of oils.
I'm learning.
Yes, different kind of oils. And so when we put this piece already painted in the kiln, okay, that is like an oven. A kiln is a big oven that goes to a very, very high temperature. And so what happened is that the glaze, that the shiny piece on the porcelain, it opens and the paint goes inside that glaze. And then in the process of cooling down, uh, it the glaze closes again. So if you put your hand on the porcelain, you don't feel anything. There are some techniques that you do feel that you have enamels and they raise things, but most of the time you don't feel. So it's all inside the glaze. That's
Mm,
the overglaze that we do.
I see. So
You
this is
know?
really involves a lot. This is not just, getting your canvas and painting and you're finished. You start from start to finish, isn't it? This work that you do.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a more detailed and kind of a long process. I tell my students when they start, don't think that you are going to learn porcelain, in 3 classes. This is a
Mm,
process,
yeah.
But I have been lucky that I have nice students and they are really lucky learning.
Do more students study, or does it seem to be the same ones that just love it so much that they keep coming and maybe you get
No,
some
no, no.
new ones too?
I have been having new students
Good
that
for
are
you.
interested in learning. As I tell you, I think that people are like really getting bored of not
Mhm.
doing anything, or maybe
Mhm.
just going to the mall and shopping or things like that, and they want to do something productive. And this is an amazing gift that you can give to somebody. Besides being decoration, also for my kids' wedding, I made like a little gift to everybody. So it's
Beautiful.
So it's for my granddaughter's bat mitzvah, I just did like a little gift to all the kids and all the adults. So it's a very you do something productive. So that's what you feel that you are producing something instead of just spending something.
I think that's a very powerful message.
Yes.
It becomes more than the art, although the art is, of course, all important. It's about going beyond and really, really getting involved with something and continuing and making it kind of like your cause, and which is a much better cause than, as you said, going shopping at the mall. I mean, I don't
It's
consider,
not that don't think that I
no,
don't like to
nothing
shop
wrong
at
with
the
the mall.
mall.
I don't want to put down
No,
the
I
mall, but
really like, but not
once in a
every.
while, it's nice to be there.
Oh yes, don't get me wrong. I love to shop.
Wait, but it's still all about meaning, I think. And it's still
Yes,
all about doing something, as you said, constructive, and where
yes.
you're part of something. I mean, not just the creating of the art, but what I'm getting from you is a group of women getting together and getting to create together, in a sense, separate pieces, but
Yes,
together. That's kind of like the old time, activities that women used to partake of, like
absolutely.
together and
Yes,
maybe bake together or do something. And it's
yes.
a time for women to get together and really enjoy themselves and learn and to
And not
become
not only women. I learned with
men. Oh,
many different men. I
and the men
learned
are
with
pretty good,
yes,
right? The
yeah.
men, well, this is good to know too. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, my teacher that I go now, when I go to Brazil, I always go to him. He's a man, and many men in Europe, they paint also. So that's not only a
Beautiful.
women thing.
Well,
Yes.
look at the greatest artists, they weren't right.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the great, but yeah, they were men. So it's can be for men or women. And I just love this idea of women, though, or it can be men too, together, coming together and creating together,
Mhm.
separate, but creating together, it has to be very fulfilling. And that's what I'm feeling from you. You found what excites you and what makes you feel fulfilled. And you've gone on to help others. And just a
Absolutely.
beautiful thing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
please invite us when you have your next show, your exhibition,
Absolutely. Yes.
wherever you're.
Yes. Yes. A friend of mine, one of my students just mentioned that we should get together, all the students once a year and do like a wine and cheese and invite friends. And you're going to be invited next time for sure.
Well, thank
Be
you.
more
Look at
than
this.
happy to call you.
This wonderful relationship just came about because someone happened to be walking down the street. So you never
Yes.
know, right? Or across the street. I'm not sure we met, and that was it. And I've learned so much from you, and even getting to go to your house, your beautiful home with all of your artwork. I wish people could see that. There's art everywhere that you've created, and it's like a museum.
It's so funny. Let me tell you just something very funny. My
Yeah,
grandkids, they
yeah,
are used to see that, so
right.
they know they cannot touch. That's all like a grandma's, pieces they cannot touch. So one day, one of my grandsons were here, and came a little friend of him, and she said, "Listen, pay a lot of attention. I'm going to tell you the rules of this house. These pieces, this thing, you cannot touch. These are all for so this coming from a 5 years old boy,
So
okay?
she,
So,
she learned quickly, and she's there to support her grandma,
yes,
her
yes. So
Mima,
they
grandma,
they
whatever.
learn, they learn, they learn.
It's a
So
pleasure getting to meet you and talk to you and learn
thank
about
you, and it was a
ancient art
pleasure.
form. So thank you so much for taking the time, and hopefully maybe some new students will emerge. They can just contact us if they want to get in touch with you. So
Thank
thank you
you
so
so much,
much for joining
Meredith. Thank
us.
you so much.
And we say Om Shanti, and that means
Oh,
like
Shanti.
Shalom. We
Yes.
call it I am peace. Yeah.
Amen.